Welcome to Divine Light Meditation, channeled by Ophelia and Sakal with the Family of Light.
Gently close your eyes now and settle more deeply into yourself. Let go of some of the thoughts of your day, some of the stresses of your day, some of the ponderings, wonderings, annoyances. Let them all go. Hand them over to your higher self. And simply trust you've been guided here, in your here and now, to participate in this particular session, this particular energy exchange. Focus on your heart chakra now, and expand your heart energy to 6 feet in all directions. And this forms a sphere of your own heart energy all around you. By extending this down through the lower chakras to the heart of Mother Earth, and extending it up through the higher chakras to Source, you'll find that you create your energetic pillar, which holds your unique energetic signature of who you are as a soul, as a higher self, including in this incarnation. So from the center point of your body, this tube is 6 feet in all directions, so 12 feet across. This gives you an idea of how large your energetic pillar is. And your energetic pillar can be smaller or larger depending on your intention. But 6 feet in all directions is a really good, but 6 foot, but 6 feet in all directions is a really good size for these formats of sessions. Breathe up and down your pillar now. Connect deeply to Earth and deeply to Source, and surrender your active mind over to your higher mind now. Allow yourself to rest more deeply in your multidimensional energies, as we call in the support teams. We ask for the angels, the archangels, the Ascended Masters, and the Karmic Board to merge deeply and fully with us now through all dimensions of our fields. We ask for our God presences, our guides, our ascension councils to work in harmonious group consciousness together, so the highest of the highest of the highest will be shown here today for all of us in our here and now. Calling on a temple of Mother Gaia grounding to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. Calling on a temple of divine union to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. And finally, calling on a God Presence communion temple to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. Feel now how this connecting to the support teams and the energies of the temples, the frequencies of the temples, opens your field further, raises your frequency. And feel now how you are connected to more of you. Always remembering you are in full control of this session. Your higher self, your God presence, your spirit has brought you here, and you are the one guiding this session for yourself. Place your attention now in the God Presence Communion Temple. Gently take a seat in the circle around a red, orange, violet, liquid light fire. Connect your heart, your brow, and your hara to this fire now and exchange energies. This will ground you more deeply in the temple here and will allow more of your spirit, your God presence, to move through you. We're joined here today by Ascended Master Melchizedek. And he has a great deal of excitement in sharing with you today, teaching you and taking you on a journey. And today's journey, he explains, will be about some concepts which may seem somewhat unfamiliar to you. You may have heard them, but perhaps you haven't fully understood them to the degree that he explains he wishes to portray to you today. You may have heard of the concept that you are a spirit in a human vessel, in a human body, having an experience here on earth in this incarnation. However, you are a multidimensional being, a very large spirit, a very large energy with multiple incarnations at the same time. And time doesn't really exist. You may have heard these type of concepts. And this is Melchizedek, is where he wishes to create some more clarity for you today, so you have a deeper level of understanding, which creates your higher self to be able to embody your physical vessel more deeply, meaning you have access to more insights around your life. You have access to more of your clair gifts, for instance, your clair senses like clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and simply using your intuition will be more powerful. The more higher frequency your multidimensional energy body is, as far as it is connected to this human body, the more of your spirit you can embody here in this incarnation. The first two concepts, and these are the main two concepts of teachings today. So not only your mind will understand, but also your multidimensional energy bodies will have a clearer understanding of what is going on. With your energy, you create your current reality on earth. There is your individual reality you create, and then there's a consensus reality that is created in group consciousness with all humans. And in fact, with many other species as well, including animals and plants and the mineral kingdoms and beyond. There's many ways to describe this. There's many fancy terms in discussing this, Melchizedek explains. But the simple fact of the matter is, it comes down to this. Your earth bubble reality, so to speak, is known as space-time. Space-time. And space-time is merely a very small part of what we call time-space. Now let those concepts gently sink in. There's no need to fully understand them yet, for we will be explaining them more, Melchizedek says. But see it in this way. All of the universe, all time, space, and dimensions, for the sake of this discussion, we call that time, space. Time is very different within that large whole, that large holistic energy. For you may have heard, time doesn't really exist, and in time, space, that is true. For instance, you may have heard that you are living all of your multiple lives, sometimes hundreds of lives, all simultaneously. All other soul extensions, which are parts of your higher self, are, for instance, living in different time zones, in different dimensions, in different realms, different planets, etc. But that experience in time, space, the larger whole, is all happening at the same time. And this is why you may have heard time travel is possible because everything is happening at the same time in time-space. And this is why traveling great distances in almost an instant or a very, very short amount of time is possible in time-space. And this also connects to the way that what you know as perhaps UFOs or spaceships and multidimensional beings are able to travel very differently than our concepts here in our reality bubble known as space-time. So the easiest way to understand it is space-time, our reality bubble, our creation, is part of the larger whole known as time-space. Space-time can be seen as physical, and time-space can be seen as metaphysical. Your dream time is in time-space. Your waking hours are in space-time. So, again, repetition with this concept will assist you to understand it, and it is very valuable to understand for what comes later in this session, Melchizedek explains. And beyond that, it will open your understanding to the higher truth that you already have embodied. You just need to remember it. On Earth, in this incarnation, you create space-time. You do that yourself and with many others. Beyond that, and also within that, exists what we call time-space. So, when you are in space-time, living a daily day, walking around, doing your activities, loving those you care about, expanding your missions, moving through lessons and experiences, you are in space-time. When you go to sleep at night, from space-time, you are also in time-space. So another good way of explaining it is, within the reality of space-time, time-space exists as well. So space-time is a part of time-space, and that is the best way to see it. Space-time is the smaller bubble reality, and time-space is the larger whole of everything. Now, that being explained a few times, if your mind still can't fully grab onto it, that is okay, because your higher self will communicate to you over the coming weeks more truths about this. You may read a little bit more about this, for instance, on the internet or books, or you may hear more about this, for instance, in seminars or from friends. You will be receiving more information about this if you need a deeper understanding. The goal of today's time together, Melchizedek explains, is to utilize both space-time and time-space simultaneously. And we are going to create a map of your future if you look at it from space-time. If you look at it from time-space, from the metaphysical realm, we are merely drawing our attention to 6 potentialities that exist, remembering time does not exist, or at least not in the same way as we understand it here within our earth bubble reality. And so this is not about confusing you. This is very simple. You are on a timeline on earth where you notice yourself aging, from a child to a teenager to a young adult, further into adulthood, and so forth. The minutes, the hours, the days, the years are connected with an aging process. This does not occur, at least not anywhere near in the same way, in time-space. For in time-space, the element of time is simply non-existent or extremely different, hard to comprehend exactly from your earth reality. And so you may have heard that your thoughts and your actions create the timeline that is unfolding for you as an individual, and thus for humanity on earth. Your choices based on your consciousness level and based on how deeply you follow your guidance lead to your actions, which determine what timeline you choose to create, understanding that there are literally billions of different timelines you can choose. A good example is, right now you have been guided to choose to follow this particular session in your here and now. This time you have allotted out of your day to spend with us, says Melchizedek. You could have made literally millions of other choices. You could have gone traveling, you could have read a book, you could have done research online, played with your children, you could have studied, you could have watched a movie, you could have gone out into nature, played with your dog, etc. And each one of those will create slightly different timelines. And you can understand that the more you come in contact with your higher guidance, it is actually clear that your spirit has this optimal high-frequency timeline for you. And the more you listen to your intuition and your guidance, where should I be, where shouldn't I be, with whom should I hang out, with whom shouldn't I hang out, where should I spend my time that is unfolding in this space-time dynamic, where should I choose it, and with whom, and what should I be doing? The more you follow your higher guidance, the more clearly you will be walking your highest potential timeline. And that is what today is about, Melchizedek explains. It is about anchoring 6 points in your timeline into time-space. So we will be visiting 6 of your future moments of your current here and now reality, and we will work with each one of these 6 to create a timeline which is exciting for you, which you feel drawn to, and that which your higher self is communicating through to you. All will become more clear, says Melchizedek, as we embark on this journey. Keeping your eyes closed, breathing up and down your pillar, the first point of your future probable timeline we will visit is 1 week from right now. 1 week from right now. You may understand, based on many choices and thoughts and actions you may undertake, that you can end up in very different times and places. However, the discrepancy between these places will be limited. There is a high probability you will end up in a certain range. You may know that over the next week you'll be going to your job, you'll be eating with certain people, whether it's your family or friends or by yourself, watching certain programs, perhaps doing certain research, continuing things that you have set out already in your past. So a week from now, the discrepancy in the probable outcomes of where you will be is more limited than if we go further out in your future. Close your eyes now and bring forth, create, imagine, feel into what timeline you want to be on in 1 week from now. And bring forth all those elements from your life that are connected to your happiness, your health, and your abundance. And abundance in this case is easiest described not so much only in money, but the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. So let that image come forth now. Where would you like to be in 1 week from now? See yourself in your work, in your business, your play, with your family, your partner, relationships. What do you want to be doing? How do you want to be doing it? Where do you want to be? And the trick here, Melchizedek says, is to open your mind to your higher mind and let your higher self show you. And then together with your higher self and your soul and all of who you are right now, you create what it is that is your ideal 7 days from now, 1 week from now. Focus on this now and let this flow through you. Enjoy the visuals of this. Enjoy the power you feel here. Enjoy the changes that have already occurred, that you've been asking for, that you've been putting out for. And if you don't see these images, simply feel how you wish to feel in different parts of your life. And as you do this, keep breathing up and down your pillar. 1 week from now, how do you want your life to be 1 week from now? Very well done, says Melchizedek. Now gently open your eyes in the God Presence Communion Temple and see how the liquid light fire at the core of the God Presence Communion Temple seems a little different. Again, connect your brow, your heart, and your hara to this fire and exchange with this fire for a few moments now. This particular fire assists with the creation of timelines, both in space-time and the metaphysical equivalent in time-space. Beautiful. Now breathe up and down your pillar, and you will notice that your Ascension Council is with you, standing around you. And there's one particular emissary that works very closely with Ascended Master Melchizedek, he explains. That will be anchoring this timeline for you in space-time, and then also in time-space, remembering that in time-space it will not be linear. It will not be linear. So simply be in the core of your heart now as Melchizedek and the one working closely with you. Now you can see him or her as an ambassador. Perhaps you get a sense of whom it is. It could be an archangel, an ascended master, someone from your genetic lineage. Could be a guide, someone from your Ascension Council. So your 1 week preferred timeline is now being anchored in space-time and in time-space. And Melchizedek, this is where the power of this particular session lies, in the combination of both of those. For often when you spend time in manifestation, in creation, visualization, often the attention lies with one of these two areas, either more focused from the metaphysical or either more focused in the physical, depending on the activity you are undertaking. Very rarely are both combined. Melchizedek explains it's important to realize that within this 1 week reality that you wish to see unfold, the variations are calculated in. So a timeline that is multiple timelines that are a little less than what you wish to see accomplished or see unfold, and even more than what you have imagined and let come through. So multiple timelines are being anchored, but the most powerful main one is the one you have envisioned. And the reason for this is there are many variables that you perhaps cannot fully see now, and there are many lessons and experiences on your path that will be accelerated by you choosing this particular exercise. So simply know that the unfoldment of your timeline will be what it is. What you are adding now is your preference, and this is strongly anchored in space-time and in time-space. If you find the mechanics of these descriptions are a bit much for the mind, simply let it go, says Melchizedek, for it is happening whether you fully understand it or not. The next point in time that your higher self will be communicating to you about, and that we ask you, says Melchizedek, to tune into how you want your happiness, your health, and your abundance to look, is 1 month from now. Where do you want to be? How do you want life to look? With whom do you want to be spending your time? Where do you want to be? What do you want to be doing? Etc. And you may get visuals of things you cannot even foresee yet. 1 month from now, receive this download, add your own creative power to it from your soul, from your beingness here on earth, and simply let this unfold for you now. Beautiful, and as you do so, keep breathing up and down your pillar. You're all doing so well, says Melchizedek, and he is overseeing this entire process. And it is so simple in the fact that your higher self knows this way of creating so well. And yet, from space-time, it may seem a little magical, or it may seem a little too complex to understand. But understand that you have created space-time here on Earth in this incarnation so you can have a joint experience with many other beings. You can assist Gaia in her ascension to fourth density. And you can move through many themes, maybe even karma or other experiences and lessons you chose to. You can connect with soul family again and undergo many journeys in the intensity of space-time, the intensity of the emotions and change and the different events that occur in accordance to your own wishes and creation is so intense that your growth, your spiritual growth, is astronomical. And this is the reason you chose to be here within this space-time that you are a part of creating. Focus now on the 1 month time frame and the time point and the time line now, he says. And when you feel complete, hold it and breathe up and down your pillar. And your support team, including Melchizedek and his ambassador and your Ascension Council, will again anchor this 1 month creation, most probable timeline of your preference and downloaded guidance in space-time, anchor it in space-time and in time-space, bridging both of those creations. So there is a bridge which connects space-time and time-space across your preferred timeline. What this will do, Melchizedek explains, is it will draw this preferred reality strongly to you like a magnet. You will be drawn to making the choices and following your guidance more strongly and more clearly. So it is like it opens up a hotline, a direct connection line that is stronger than you currently have with your higher self. That means that when you follow your intuition and your guidance and your clairsenses, you will know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, with whom to engage, and what impulses to follow, what guidance to act on, etc. So this 1 month point in time, including the creation that you visualized, is now being anchored and bridged. Now, the spectrum of different timelines 1 month out is wider than 1 week out. And that is because many more variables come into play, Melchizedek explains. And he says he knows you all understand this concept, that the further out you go into your own future timeline, the more variables come into play, and the wider the array of potential timelines. Next point to focus on is 3 months out, he says. Please do so now and receive this guidance. How does your life look? How do you want your life to look 3 months from now? Focusing on your happiness, your health, and your abundance. If you notice any constricting thoughts or fears come up, hand them over to your support team, Melchizedek explains. This is very common the further out you go from the now moment. There are parts that are activated that become fearful of having to control this creation and do not trust this process. So simply hand any of those over, hand any limiting beliefs over, anything that stands in your way from seeing a happy perspective in 3 months. And if there is any fear of negative creations, hand them over now. Hand any negative thoughts over, any negative beliefs, any limiting emotions, any limiting viewpoints, hand them over to your team now for transformation into universal love and light energies. And then go back to focusing on what you would like to see unfold and the guidance you are receiving from your higher self. So a part of it will come from your experience already in space-time, and a larger part will come through guidance from your higher self. So let that visualization unfold, even though it may be very different to what you first thought it might be. Focusing on 3 months from now, breathing up and down your pillar. Focus on how you want to feel, what you want to see, what you want to be doing, with whom you want to be. And feel abundant and free. Hold on to no limitations. If you feel any limitations there, hand them over as well. For life can unfold in so many beautiful ways, and you are at the core of all of these creations. And remember, what you're creating now is a powerful magnetic timeline that will draw you to it as time unfolds in space-time. And the connections through to time-space will be there to strengthen everything. And to make the flexibility and the fluidity occur from the metaphysical to the physical. You may have heard as above, so below. This applies to these concepts of today as well. Hold on to that completed visualization, feeling, imagery, creation 3 months from now, and allow your team now to anchor this in space-time, in your timeline, and also in time-space. You need simply but allow this to happen and surrender as you breathe up and down your pillar. Opening your eyes in the God Presence Communion Temple now, sharing with the creation fire, which will look very different again now, as you are anchoring more and more of your future timeline. Take in this energy as you share through brow, heart, and hara for the 1 month and 3 month creations. Simply share with creation fire now, and creation fire is growing and expanding with you. Beautiful, and keep breathing up and down your pillar as the frequencies will get higher and higher the further out you go on your timeline. Stay present, and Melchizedek says and asks you to focus now on the time moment in space-time known as 6 months from now. How do you wish to see life and live life and experience life 6 months from now? Focusing on all areas of your life: happiness, health, abundance, family, relationship, work, mission, health, joy, group, consciousness, tribe. Spiritual development, personal development, emotional and mental stability. Focus on whatever it is that comes through for you in combination from your space-time bubble, in collaboration with your higher self, who has the total overview. Again, understanding that the sheer amount of timelines on either side of your chosen timeline increase as we move further out in time. 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, and now 6 months. See this reality, fill in all the blanks in all areas. If you don't see it, feel it and know it. Any limitations, hand them over. If you notice yourself drifting off, ground more deeply in the God Presence Communion Temple by breathing up and down your pillar. This will strengthen your connection through to Mother Gaia, through the core of the God Presence Communion Temple. Enjoy being in this beautiful timeline you are creating, this empowered timeline where love and light flows through you, where you are becoming more of who you know that you are. Are there new people coming into your life? Are there new projects coming into your life? How do you feel? Where are you? Who are you? What is happening and what has changed in your life versus now? Embody this. See it, feel it, know it. And when you feel complete, ask your team, and your team will assist you to anchor this in space-time and again in time-space, bridging those two. When you are ready, this will be happening. Open your eyes and connect again to the creation fire. You will notice this fire getting bigger and bigger and wider, and the colors will be changing. You may notice different colors of gold and silver and diamond-esque and opalescence moving through. Let it enter through your brow and your heart and your heart. Exchange your energy, sending out, receiving, and send it down the timeline back to the now, back up to 6 months from now, back to the now, and let that flow through. Let the creation fire be a part of the anchoring of these points in space-time and in time-space. Beautiful. Breathing up and down your pillar a few times, Melchizedek asks, "You're all doing so well." He says, 2 points to go. We will be going 1 year out, and we will be going 2 years out. Propel yourself forward from the now, he says, from the God Presence Communion Temple, 1 year from now. Let the guidance flow. Hand over limitations in your thoughts, your emotions, any worries and fears, any disbelief. Hand it over now, he says, for transformation. And focus on how would an optimal life look for you. Being happy, healthy, abundant. Follow the guidance from your higher self, the inspiration from your higher self, with input, with your own ideas as a soul here in this incarnation. 1 year from now, who are you then? Who do you want to be? Whom is with you? Whom is around you? Where are you? Where do you live? What activities are you doing? How is your mission unfolding? What role do you play in the ascension of Gaia? What are you here to bring to the world and to humanity? Let it all be part of this 1 year vision, this 1 year creation. That is your preference. Beautiful. Breathe up and down your pillar as this unfolds. Make room for new creations, new thoughts, new visions. New things will pop into your energetic field that you may have never even thought of. You may be connecting to people that feel far out from your here and now, yet they may be a part of your preferred future creation. Again, obviously, their own free will and their own journey will be a part of this, but all you're doing now is putting out for your preference. Understanding that the variables are getting bigger and bigger, and the potential timelines that may unfold are getting wider and wider, yet the magnetic pull and the magnetic strength of the timeline that you are creating from 1 week to a month to 3 months to 6 months to a year, and then later to 2 years, is going to be very powerful. It's going to be a draw card all the way through this 24-month period. Handing over any limitations, any limiting thoughts, any limiting beliefs, any limiting emotions, any worries. If you are dropping off or nodding off, keep breathing up and down your pillar. You are doing so well, Melchizedek explains. And his ambassador and your Ascension Council will assist you greatly to remain present during this time of creation, of probable timelines that you are so yearning for. You are always at the core of the unfoldment of your life. You, guided by your higher self, obviously moving through the lessons and experiences you came here to learn as well, does not mean that everything will always be happy, happy, happy. However, you can be in happy, blissful, abundant, healthy places for most of the time, and you simply move through the waves that are presented to you, which help you to grow. Finish the completion of this 1 year projection now. And then together with the support teams, members of the support team, anchor this in space-time, in your earth bubble, on your earth timeline, and anchor it in time-space, connecting these two as well, opening your eyes to the creation fire, which again will look very different. You may see different energetic beings in the creation fire, perhaps totem animals or angels or archangels or ascended masters speaking to you, creations that are all part of your timeline. And let the fire move through all points from now to 1 year, back and forth, solidifying the choices you are putting out for. Also remaining open in your mind and in your energetic field to understand that however it may unfold, you are putting everything into being clear in what it is that you wish to transpire, what it is that you wish to manifest, what it is that you wish to be part of, which creation do you prefer, in accordance with the guidance from your higher self as well, and knowing that things might be different, even better than you thought. Focusing now on the final creation, 2 years from now. Who are you? What are you capable of? With whom have you connected? Where do you live? Do you travel? How is your relationship, your family, your friends, your project, your work, your mission. Who are you in this unfolding world, this ascending Gaia? Let it all be downloaded to you now, and place your preferences within the mix. Beautiful, and this is the most high frequency reality creation of all, because it's the furthest out from your now reality, Melchizedek explains. Hand over any limitations now. Breathe up and down your pillar to assist you to be grounded to your guidance from Mother Gaia, from your role here on earth, and from your higher self. Let guidance come from Source and from Gaia. And let the mysteries reveal themselves where possible. Focus on you're happy, you're healthy, you're abundant, deeply fulfilled in your mission here on earth. Connected with whom and what groups you wish to be connected with. Living where you wish to live. And notice now how your support team and your higher self bring in this intense ball of pure liquid light that is so bright it is almost impossible to look at it, and they place this right at the core of this 2-year future dated creation. And this is now going to be anchored for you and is going to be the two ends on the timeline, your now and that extremely bright ball of beautiful liquid light. And that is now going to be moving time and energy up and down your creation timeline from the now through all the points to the 2-year mark. The 2-year mark is now being anchored in space-time and in time-space. Open your eyes to let the creation fire, that again is very different, larger, more powerful, more fluid, let it run through this timeline as well, loading up each of the separate points, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Let that run through with the anchors being now and the anchor being 2 years from now. This is your creation focus. This is the unfoldment of your timeline, with many variables either side that become wider and wider as time unfolds. Be in this energy now as all of this is being grounded in space-time and time-space. Breathing up and down your pillar. And notice now how the creation fire grows so big that it starts to envelop you, starts to become a part of you. And notice how clockwise, like the hours on a clock, the 6 points lay themselves over the hours of a clock. And now at 12 o'clock, 1 week at 2 o'clock, 1 month, 4 o'clock, three months at 6 o'clock, 6 months, 8 o'clock, 1 year, 10, and finally anchoring the full cycle of this 2-year time frame. Is the 2-year cycle merging, anchoring with the point of the now. Those are the 2 points that hold this time cycle of creation together in space-time and time-space. Feel how and notice how the clock is starting to spin forward now to each of these moments as it spins around, as many rotations as there are 12-hour cycles in these periods, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years from now. And keep breathing up and down your pillar as you notice the creation fire is connecting these bridges between space-time and time-space ever so powerfully, and simply be in this experience now. Surrender it all up and be in this experience as it unfolds, breathing up and down your pillar from earth to source, from source to earth, and simply be, experience, and let this unfold for you now. Keep breathing up and down your pillar as you notice the energies very gently settling a little more, settling a little more. And feel deeply at your core how you have anchored this 2-year timeline in space-time and time-space. And the only thing you need to do from here on forth, says Melchizedek, is to follow and trust your guidance, which will lead you along this path, the path you so desire, and guided by your higher self, who holds this great oversight from time-space as well. Melchizedek thanks you oh so deeply for your willingness to learn today, for your willingness to embrace and to experience all of this. And he knows and trusts what you have chosen to spend your time and energy on today will be very beneficial for not only yourself, but all others in your life and humanity and Mother Gaia as well. We ask for all this energy work to be sealed and to integrate with grace, ease, love, light, and empowerment. We anchor all of these teachings, learnings, and experiences deep into the heart of Mother Gaia to be accessed by all beings on earth. We thank Melchizedek for his assistance today and all the support teams, the Ascension Councils, the temples, Mother Gaia, our spirits and souls, the great creation fire. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bring all of your energy now back out of the God Presence Communion Temple into your here and now, into your body here and now, in your chair, where you were laying down or where you were standing up. So be it, so be it, so be it. It is done. Many, many, many blessings on following your guidance and being the puzzle piece that you were meant to be here on earth. And many blessings for an amazing future timeline. Thank you.